People are going on and on about the recession, and you've probably heard it. In fact, you probably have an opinion already. Either we're going into a recession, or there's not going to be a recession in the next couple of years, or we're in a recession already. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of opinions out there on the web, but not enough hard facts, not enough data to support their claims. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Ruppreet. I make personal finance videos, and in this one, I'm going to show you the hard facts about the upcoming recession. Let's get in. So before I actually show you the data and explain everything about it, let's look at the web. Let's look at the opinions that are already out there. Let's see what they got to say. I'm going to break it into 3 levels. First level is consumers. There are people like you and me. We're buying ETFs, we're buying stocks, we're buying Forex. We're active market participants. Now that's the first level. Let's look at the second level. That's analysts. These guys are the one working in hedge funds, in banks, in governments. So they're more informed. They've seen past recessions. They know the way it works. They have a better grip on this whole thing. And the third, the almighty Federal Reserve. These are the guys who actually control your money. More on that later. But let's see what each of them have to say. All right, so level 1, as far as people like me and you go, we're actually 50-50 between a recession and not a recession. And also, let's not forget the small minority. There is some between us that do think that we're in a recession already. You probably know one of your friends, they're always talking about it. All right, level 2, these are the analysts that we talked about. Their literal job description includes analyzing the market, so they better know what they're talking about when it comes to recession and these type of things. Unfortunately though, most of them don't know what they're talking about. Every time they make a prediction, it usually just goes the other way. Nonetheless, this is what they are predicting. They actually do think there's going to be a recession. However, they think it's going to happen in late 2023 and early 2024. All right, level 3, this is the Federal Reserve, the final boss, if you will. These guys literally control the inflows and outflows of your money. They control how much you spend. Their job description is to maintain a good level of jobs and keep the prices stable. Now, what does that mean? Here, take this in. Between you and the vacation that you've always wanted, between there is the Federal Reserve. This quite literally means that they control your life with the moves that they make. Either they're going to increase interest rates or they're going to decrease interest rates, quantitative easing and quantitative tightening. It really depends on them. So if they have that much control over your life, you better hope that they know what they're saying. Well, so let's talk about what they are predicting. Here's their prediction. Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, does not think that there will be a hard landing, which basically means that there is not going to be a recession in terms of his analysis. In fact, the Federal Reserve is so confident that there is not going to be a recession that they're raising interest rates to record high levels and they're keeping it there. So just think about it. If the Federal Reserve, they really thought that there would be a recession, they would not increase these interest rates so high. Not one word has come out of Jerome Powell's mouth that really signals that there's going to be a decrease in interest rates anytime soon. So they really don't think that there's going to be a recession. Now, the moment you've been waiting for, let's roll out the truth. Why am I calling it the truth? Because it does not involve opinions. Tested through time, it has a 90% probability of being correct. Here it is, the inverted yield curve chart. Now, in order to understand the chart, let's jump back for a quick second and understand what it really means when I say inverted yield curve. It's inverted because a 30-year bond yield is lower than the 2-year bond yield. For those of us who know, that's not normal at all. It's very, very inverted as of today, and here's why. All right, so think of it this way. If you buy a 30-year bond, you've invested 30 years of your time until you get your initial investment back. Now, at the same time, you invest in a 2-year bond. Now you're in the bond for 2 years until you get your initial investment back. Now, because you invested in a 30-year bond and you made a 30-year commitment, you deserve a higher yield. In contrast, if you buy a 2-year bond, you deserve a lower yield than the person who has a 30-year bond just because he's put in so much time into this. And the case right now is not that. You're actually getting more yield for buying a 2-year bond than you get for buying a 30-year bond. Now let's get back to the chart. Every time you see a red line, that essentially means that the yield curve is inverted. And every shaded line you see that follows after the inverted yield curve, that represents a recession. Now, I'm sure you're catching on to where I'm going with this, but this is it. This is historical data, no bias, no opinion, straight facts and numbers. Now, if we zoom into our current situation, the inverted yield curve has already peaked. It's on its way down. Now, if we take an average of how long it took between each peak of the yield curve to get to the recession, we get 11 months. This means that the probability of there being a recession is the highest between the middle of 2024, the middle to the end. That's when there's going to be a recession, not in 2023 like everyone thought, not in early 2024, but the middle. So prepare for that. Better yet, show this to your friends, show this to the people who always told you that there's not going to be a recession. Show them the stats, because you cannot go against stats that are tested and proven through time. And I've made it available and easy to get for you guys. The link is in the description for that chart, so check it out yourself. So boys, if you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out a lot. Again, I make personal finance videos and I post every video every 5 days. I'll see you guys again. Bye-bye.